Did you watch the Oprah Kamala Harris Gab Fest yesterday?
No.
They
I just
had
watched highlights.
They had it was a virtual rally, which it was not a rally. There were a bunch of people in a studio, and then they took some questions from people. But Kamala Harris, she carries. She's got a side piece, and I'm not talking about Dougie. Oh, no. And if someone breaks into her house, what?
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If
And I thought
somebody
that was
breaks in my
powerful.
house, they're getting shot. Sorry.
Yes. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
My staff will deal with that later.
And she brought that up because she was speaking out against school shootings, and she brought that up. But guess what? If you live in Minnesota, what she said right there, it's called duty to retreat. Yeah. Listen to this, which means you must back away from confrontation if it's possible, even if someone breaks into your home.
Yep.
That, my friends, is Tim Walz's Minnesota.
Illinois, too.
So she would be a criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Illinois too?
Duty to retreat. It should be stand your ground. Every state in this union should be stand your ground, because if somebody comes into your house, somebody attempts to hurt, harm, or inflict injury or danger to you, and you continue to push them down and tell them no, you should be able to defend yourself in any way possible.
With more on this and the gun that was used in the second assassination attempt on President Trump, let's welcome back to the program Dan Eldrige. He's owner of Maxon Shooter Supplies and Indoor Range. Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Hey, Amy. Hey, John.
Hey, bud.
All's well.
So if you were a guessing man, what type of piece do you think Kamala Harris has? A 38 special, a 9mm? What do you got?
All I can say to that is good grief. And if you wanted to spawn another word salad, I would say ask her make, model, and caliber. Enough said. She's, what can you say?
Well, clearly she's pandering to try and get the vote, to try and act like, they're the outdoorsy folk. They're the Second Amendment right to own a weapon. But yet she bashes guns every time she gets a chance.
Yep. And assault weapon bans and all the rest of that. But I think we made great progress this week with respect to that topic. And good luck to them.
Yeah, get us up to speed for those of us who are not aware of the litigation that's going on when it comes to banning certain weapons in Illinois.
Over. This will be the trial on the merits. We have 30 days to file briefs. Our side came prepared. We came loaded for bear. The state essentially punted. They had 3 very weak expert witnesses, and in my view, it's as if they knew they would lose on the merits. We addressed both sets of tests, the Supreme Court's common use for legal purposes test and Easterbrook's kissing cousins to an M16 test. The state mostly argued the Easterbrook standard. So look for a decision late October, early November with a win. McGlynn, the judge, ended with a spot-on recollection of race riots in East St. Louis, wondering if the murdered and assaulted black citizens might have fared better if they were tooled up with better defensive weaponry. He said, go visit these sacred sites while you're down here. To me, that's just game, set, and match.
Dan, I always, when I was in the General Assembly, I always used to use one word, and these people who were trying to ban guns and do all these things, I would use one word to test their knowledge to see if they understood it. What is nomenclature? Basically the breakdown of the gun. People had no clue what it was, what it meant, or understood it. That's how I used to know that these people were clueless and dumb as a box of rocks. But does this PICA, P-I-C-A, this was when they forced registrations for AR-15s, the so-called assault rifles and things of that nature. Is this part of is the registering of guns part of this lawsuit as well?
Well, this lawsuit would enjoin the state from enforcing the act in its entirety. So yes.
Okay.
But your point is a good one with respect to, let's just call it willful ignorance of firearms. Amy, you started with the rifle used by the alleged assailant in Florida, potentially against Donald Trump. it was immediately reported that it was an AK variant. Well, actually, it's not. It's from the pictures that I've seen, it appears to be an SKS rifle with a magazine on it. But setting that magazine aside, that SKS rifle is PICA compliant. It's even in the FAQ document from the Illinois State Police. It's even California compliant. So you've got a willfully lazy and uninformed press that calls every rifle an AK or an AR-15, just like they call every light plane that crashes a Cessna or a Piper Cub.
Right. And this is the same rifle that was used when Steve Scalise got shot as well back in, was that 2015, 2017?
Oh, on the softball
in the
field?
softball game, correct?
Right. I believe that's correct. I don't recall specifically, but it wouldn't surprise me because they're everywhere.
Now, Kamala Harris has said in the past that she wants a mandatory gun buyback program, and now she's coming out saying, no, I carry, so does Tim Walz. Will the real Kamala Harris come out if, God help us, she becomes president?
Well, it doesn't matter because we're going to win against either this PICA case or the Maryland assault weapon ban case, which formerly was called Bianchi. Mr. Bianchi had quite enough of Maryland and moved out, so now it's Snopes, which is seeking cert at the Supreme Court this fall. If the Supreme Court finds against Maryland in that case, which seems likely, then all of these assault weapon bans go away. And good luck trying to pass a federal assault weapon ban with this kind of precedent.
Yeah. And there was a federal ruling in the Rockford case about concealed carry law. Care to go into and explain to the people what that was about as well?
I'm not super intimately familiar with that one. I do know that it applies only to the named plaintiffs.
Yeah.
So I'd be careful extrapolating that out to any kind of general utility, but it's certainly a win. And we just continue to notch wins against the gun control people.
Yeah, and there's Kamala Harris is actually on record saying that she's going to, if Congress won't act, she'll actually do something by executive order. How about the Second Amendment? That executive order can't usurp the executive order can't usurp the Second Amendment, right, Dan?
I don't know what she would even propose to do. No, of course not. It's nonsensical. But I think that we even stand a chance of winning in the seventh. We're up against Frank Easterbrook and Diane Wood. Judge Brennan wrote a very good dissent when they overturned our stay. He left the door open to being convinced that the kissing cousins test is not a valid test. And I think that with bringing in engineers and manufacturers and building this record, these gun companies have two different production lines, two different sets of standards, two different sets of engineering that go into military weapons and civilian weapons. It's an entirely different thing. So even though we reject that standard, we address it. Additionally, Clarence Thomas opened the door to reviewing the Seventh Circuit. He expressed an eagerness to review Easterbrook's decision after the trial. So maybe those two things are enough to give him an out and not write an opinion that's going to be held up like a piñata by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, one of the things that I know about the 2A community is that we get a victory and then we rest on our laurels and we don't look to the next fight. Whereas
they're already fixing for your next fight.
Anti-gun people, they've already got 6-7 fights ahead. What should we, who strongly believe in the Second Amendment, what are some of the things that we need to look out for? Because we know the fight's coming. And how do we engage and keep people engaged in the fight?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, when we win, we will recover attorney's fees, and it's in the hundreds of thousands of dollars just for my organization, Federal Firearms Licensees of Illinois, which is the dealer lobby group. We will have a war chest in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to start going after things. Is it the FOID card? Is it silencers, suppressors rather?
Yeah.
There's a wide field that we can go after things, and we'll have the financial means to do it because the dealer community, manufacturers, and distributors have been very, very forthcoming with financial support for this effort.
Right. But how is the concealed carry and things of that nature, how are these not infringing on the Second Amendment rights?
Oh, I mean, look, they are, John. I'm going to say, look at these gun control enthusiasts through the lens of the temperance movement, right? They have this quasi-religious zeal about them. It's an attack on an object rather than behavior. Right. They never consider the consequences, and it's mostly people that are completely, wholly ignorant of the issues and what it means. So I really think it is helpful to look at it through that lens and fight it in the way that was flawed.
Yeah, I just have one more question. I know this is something that I'm really passionate about, the Second Amendment. I think was his name Joe Walsh used to say it's the most important amendment. Without it, no other amendment can withstand the onslaught of government. But we have a lot of people on the left. We have people, squishy Republicans, who really don't understand the definition of what an assault weapon is. I can take this pen and it becomes an assault weapon, because if I attack you with this pen,
if you assault
it's
me,
an assault
and
weapon,
it's a weapon, right?
Outline what an assault weapon is. And an AR-15 is not. I know they believe that assault rifle, and because AR is in the name.
Right.
I'm telling you, Amy, it's some dumb people out there. But explain what the assault rifle, assault weapon, the difference between all of what the left is trying. I'm gonna say not left, the anti-gun establishment people, and how they try to intertwine all of them.
Okay, well, first I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, John. They aren't dumb, but
okay.
they're devious and
fair.
relentless.
That's fair.
Assault weapon is a made-up propaganda term by the gun controllers. It means nothing. And if you look at this assault weapon ban, the nonsensical part of the Easterbrook decision is he's focused solely on the AR-15s and AK platforms. Well, what about the hundreds of other firearms that are not AR-15s, that are not AK-47s, right? These are suddenly, a shotgun with a 7-round tube is suddenly a so-called assault weapon.
Yeah.
It's a nonsensical propaganda term, and we reject it. Whenever I write the term in a blog post or an op-ed, I will put scare quotes around assault.
So is gun violence as well. That's another made-up term. It's not gun violence. It's normally gang violence,
right.
drug. It's
people being violent
correct.
with a weapon.
Correct. Sorry about that.
I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get hit with a baseball bat.
Right.
It's pretty simple stuff.
Right.
All right. Where can people get more information if they want to help your organization or find out more about this?
Well, thanks, Amy. The website for the Dealer Lobby Group is fflil.org. That's Federal Firearms Licensees of Illinois. We're a 501c4, and we have raised substantial money so far. But boy, the big numbers are spinning on the meter with these trials. Just in closing, I mean, this whole thing has been a huge waste. COGFA, which is the Commission on Government Forecast and Accountability at the General Assembly, John, you're probably familiar with that. They reported $9 million in lost sales tax revenue in the first 12 months of this,
wow.
plus job loss, plus unemployment tax, legal expenses on both sides, and all of this for nothing but preening and maybe fundraising on the left. I just look at the whole thing as a big fat waste.
That's true. Right. Agree.
All right, Dan Eldrige, thank you so much. He's owner of Shooters Supplies and Indoor Rage, Maxon, and thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
I opened a gold IRA with Noble Gold Investments. There's no better vote for your financial safety than precious metals. So Noble Gold Investments is giving away up to 10 1-ounce silver Trump coins or a 10-ounce silver American flag bar with a qualifying account this month. Just use promo code TRUMP. That's NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
Hey, I'm going to let you in on a wireless hack that can cut your cell phone phone bill in half. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, they want you to think that unlimited data is fantastic. Well, the fact is, it's not. Pure Talk, my cell phone company, only charges you for data that you need. For just $25 a month, you get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 5 gigs of data, plus mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and do it now. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Save money, same service with Pure Talk.
All right. Own a business? If you've been in business for a number of years, it's likely your company has grown in every department. You've added to your sales team, increased your client base, and now have multiple locations. But there's one area that could stop your growth right in its tracks if not protected, and that's your network's data. Is it secure? And it's not just your server that you need to worry about. Oh, no, it's the full infrastructure of your business. Think about your precious customer data, your employees' devices, smartphones, and all of your technology. You know, as you've grown, you've likely evolved your basic network over time, putting your company at risk to cyber attacks. And guess what? Every day, more than 30,000 websites are hacked, and 2/3 of companies globally have experienced at least one type of cyber attack. Don't be a statistic. Defend your business, your customers, your employees, and your future growth with Turnkey's real-time threat hunting protection. Turnkey has a solution to protect your business, so start a conversation today. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
When your home or business has an insurance claim, the next step is very important. The claim process with insurance can be tedious, hard to understand, and difficult to navigate. You need someone working for you. You need a licensed claim adjuster. Why? The insurance company will send out their inspectors that work for them, get paid by them, and represent them, not you.
This is Dan Lights from Crosscom. We inspect your property, file your claim, negotiate the damages, and maximize your settlement with your insurance company. If we complete the repairs approved by your insurance company, our service is free. Crosscom Public Adjusters has turned denied claims into approved claims. We've also increased insurance claims anywhere from 23 to 1,000%. We are licensed by the Department of Insurance and work in Illinois, Northwest Indiana, and Southern Wisconsin. Crosscom Public Adjusters, 630-871-5500. Online at crosscominc.com. That's crosscominc.com. Crosscom, building trust for over 20 years.
The following is a paid political announcement.
I'm Jim Karras, and I approve this ad.
Brad Schneider has spent a decade in Congress and failed the families of the 10th District. He has not passed a single law and blindly rubber stamps the far left. Now he's avoiding debates with Jim Karras because he's afraid of being held accountable. Jim Karras will deliver where Brad Schneider has failed. Jim is a common-sense, independent business leader who will strengthen our economy and keep our streets safe. Vote for Jim Karras because the 10th District deserves better. Paid for by Karras for Congress.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. Rocking and rolling here. And we have a very special open mic Friday today. Because you and I are going to sing.
No, you're going to sing.
No. Oh, no. See this?
I'm just going to hum.
Okay. We'll explain.
I will hum.
You're going to hum? Real quick.
Yeah.
Back to the Oprah Gab Fest last night. You got to hear this. Basic question. You should know what questions are going to be asked. Well,
yeah.
Because they screen people, I'm sure. And listen to this answer about the border.
What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
So it's a wonderful and important question. My background was as a prosecutor, and I was also the elected attorney general for 2 terms of a border state. So this is not a theoretical issue for me. This is something I've actually worked on. Okay. I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I take very seriously the importance of having a secure
She's in the
border
executive branch
and
right
ensuring
now.
the safety of the American people.
Oh, my God. Do you think they replayed these?
Probably. But policy...
interviews for her to say, hey, next time I want to come up with something specific?
No, because she continues to repeat herself over and over.
She does. All right, today it's going to be sunny, warm, a high near 90. It is 8 a.m. WIND, Chicago.
Giving presidential candidates more protection. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Elections should be determined at the ballot box and not by an assassin's bullet.
Days after the second Trump assassination attempt, the House will vote on a bill Republican Congressman Mike Lawler introduced with a Democratic colleague after the first attempt to give candidates the same protection as a sitting president.